My name is Joe Allen. 4 years ago, I decided to film my adventures in the Ozark Mountains of southwest Missouri. With the help of some of my best friends, the Hunt Company was born. This is our story.
We just found my doe that I shot right over there.
Well, it's too bad Jesse isn't here because episode 7 is going to be all me and him. The footage is better from the, in the end than from the beginning.
We've come to the culmination or the kind of the end of the 2013 footage, and we have learned so much through this season on what we're doing with our cameras and how to film and B-roll stuff and all of this stuff that goes into getting good quality footage and enough footage to make a television show. We worked really hard this year in 2013 to make sure our producer at the time was happy with what we were giving him. And you're gonna notice now as we transition into late 2013 and 2014 that things are going to start looking a lot different. Joe came to us as a team and he said, I've got this idea that I'm going to start filming everything I do with a DSLR. And so that was a whole new concept for us. That was something that we had to figure out. We had to start relearning, and the video cameras kind of got put on the shelf. They got put in the closet. They weren't being used a whole lot anymore. And you're gonna see in this footage from this point forward that transition kind of take place. And there might be some times that looks really kind of ugly as we're trying to learn this. We might not have everything in focus. We might not have our settings perfect, but that's part of the process that we have gone through in learning how to use a tool that's not made for filming, but looks really cool if you get it right. And you'll see that. We have come so far from 2013 to 2014 that it really shows up when you look at the footage and what we have produced and given to our producer to put on television.
One of the challenges I had and we had as a team was making sure we could get together with our schedules, because we all work full-time regular jobs, so that we had someone filming or someone to film every time we went out and hunted. So I was always on the lookout and open-minded to whoever may be interested in joining up with us and helping us out either through hunting or through filming. And during the late season in 2013, I met Jesse Morton actually down at an archery shop. I was down there working on my bow or shooting my bow, and met this guy, and we just struck up a conversation and started talking about what I was doing with the Hitmen TV show. And I think he at the time knew who I was and knew what we were doing as a team, and he seemed kind of interested in what we were doing. So I just said, hey, do you ever want to come out and hunt and film sometime? And he was all about it. And I'd been kind of used to people saying that they were interested and then not necessarily following through, but Jesse Morton really stepped up, and every time I called him, he was ready to go.
Check out these beans. These are the beans that you bought, and they've just bloomed like crazy. They're almost too thick, but I think it's gonna be awesome for late season. That's alfalfa and jumbo ladonna clover, knee high or better, and our mineral licks over there.
Check my camera and had does and a couple of spikes and a little 6-point that were coming in there pretty consistently every day. I think I can get Courtney on a deer there. Just have her go out with Johnny or Jesse. I'll sit there with Annabelle. Deer season can get pretty chilly towards the end, the last couple of months in December and January, and 2013 was no exception. Jesse had committed to me to come out and help film, and I started calling him every once in a while thinking, man, this guy, I don't know if he's going to want to come climb a tree with me when the weather is so nasty, but he was there every time. Luckily we can bait in Oklahoma. We just checked the camera and I think there were about 160 pictures on this camera, so hopefully there'll be something good here. I asked him if he wanted to come out to Oklahoma to do a hunt, and it just so happened that we ran into a giant ice storm and it was nasty.
You notice where all the covers
I thought you were on the chair.
Oh, I started laughing so hard. It was just like a slow.
Really?
Yeah. I just started laughing.
It's funny because at home I get treated the opposite.
Oh yeah?
I get about this much dead space. Had a lot of pictures on camera of deer coming in the evening, so I think we'll at least be able to shoot a doe tonight. We're just going to hang out here and shoot our bows this afternoon and probably go back in at about 2:30 or 3 o'clock. Sketchy McSketcherson. All the pictures were pretty much showing deer coming out in the evening anyway, so predict like somewhere between 4 and 5 we'll see some deer. Got a pretty good 8-point over here that came out a couple of nights ago. It's nocturnal, but maybe with the weather being so bad it'll get on its feet earlier. We actually didn't get a chance to kill anything during that trip, but we really got to know each other as men during that trip because we were in a pretty bad situation in the tree stand with it icing up, and Jesse just climbed up and knocked ice off the tree stand, and I mean, he was there throughout the whole process, never complained, always acted like he wanted to do it, and we had a pretty good time on that new spot today for a late season buck or doe hunt. We got some intel on a giant 8-point that's been walking around at this spot we know of here in our county, so we're going to go see if we can find him now for the last few weeks of the season. After being unsuccessful as far as killing anything in Oklahoma, we came back home, and I had a spot that I had been scouting for a couple of years, a place I had permission on, and asked Jesse to come out there with me, and he was still very gung-ho about coming out and helping me get footage for the show. We finally got in here and just now got set up, and we got about 45 minutes till left to hunt, but we're gonna have a really good spot here for the rest of the season. We went out that night and immediately had like 5 or 6 deer come up on us. I mean, we hadn't been sitting in the stand for 15 minutes before we had deer on top of us. It was kind of a hectic situation because we had at least 5 sets of eyes right around us. Even though we were hunting back in the timber, you know, deer can see very well. So Jesse we were both struggling with, you know, getting this hunt on film with all of these eyes on us. Been up here like 20 minutes, and Jesse said, I think I hear a deer, and they walked right underneath us. I was able to kill a doe that night, and because of another doe getting spooked, Jesse actually moved the camera, zoomed in, did something wrong right before I took the shot, and we didn't get it on film. We watched the footage and saw that Jesse just missed the shot on camera, but we got good pre-roll of it. We got her crashing, I think. So we're gonna go grab this doe and get out of here and get ready for the morning hunt. We just followed the blood trail just to see what it looked like, and I think I may have hit her heart because it's just nasty, and she's right here behind me. We just found her. She's definitely a yearling, which is completely fine with me. He filmed the recovery, and it was still fun that, you know, for us to do something together, even though it didn't turn out the way it should.
I filmed Joe shooting his doe at this food plot, and then we're gonna go try and get in there this morning and do the same thing.
I knew Jesse was kind of upset about missing my doe on film, and he had been working so hard. I knew that I wanted him to be a part of this team, so I said, hey, bring your bow tomorrow. If you can hunt in the morning, you need to bring your bow, and let's get you on camera.
Yeah, we snuck in here real early, didn't blow anything out of the food plot, and we're pretty hopeful this morning.
So we went out to the same spot the next morning, and the same group of does walked right underneath us.
second time we've hunted it, and that's the second doe we've killed. I was shaking like a leaf. No shot from my helmet. Those are the same freaking does from last night. She's not big, but she'll eat.
It was just a perfect situation. Jesse made a great shot on a doe. We got it on film, we got the recovery, and he was on TV within the next month. I know he was very excited about that.
Glad we found her. She's a good 1.5 maybe 2.5-year-old doe, and she's gonna eat really well.
Not only was Jesse so willing to come out and work hard at hanging stands and filming me throughout the last part of 2013, but he had told me about the farm his family owns and all of the deer that he had on camera coming in during the late season to a field to feed. And he said this would be a really good opportunity for us to get some more footage. We're out here at Jesse's farm. He told me it'd be fine to come out on the last day of season and shoot whatever bucks he has left. So we're going to be flinging some arrows tonight if a buck walks in. We're not worried about deer management out here, so I'll also be happy to shoot any does or squirrels, whatever comes by. We have deer already. I'm up here moving around, doing a dance, and like 5 does out there staring at me.
Hey Joey, there's deer right there. Right in the gap. Right behind you. Gosh dang it.
Shut her freaking mouth. Well, I was sitting here on my phone and Jesse looked over my shoulder and said, "Oh, there's a doe at 30 yards." I don't know if I gut shot her, but it was back. She's dead. There's a giant hole. But
we found Joe's deer from last night. We walked by this deer on a trail not 5 yards away from here, probably 10 times last night.
the 2013 deer season was a great learning experience for us. I had decided about halfway through the season that I wanted to get rid of my video camera and film solely with DSLRs. I feel like I trained about half of our guys actually in the tree during hunts how to use my DSLR, and more of the guys just started getting rid of their video cameras. I knew this was the look that I wanted to go for in the future. What I didn't know at the time was what we were going to do next year. We're going to go back with our producer on the Pursuit channel, be a part of the Hitmen again, or are we going to go off and do our own things? I was just really proud of everything that we did throughout the year.